Hello there, YouTube. I am hoping to upload this video on Tuesday, so happy Cob Tuesday, everyone. Smoking Kentucky Bird, the ever faithful Kentucky Bird in my Missouri Meerschaum Dwarf Hobbit. And because I'm in my kitchen, our old Russian customs of, brooding in the kitchen while drinking. I'm not drinking, I'm smoking. That should suffice. We've touched upon politics, and that went fairly well, so this time I'm going to tackle religion. Well, do my best. The thing that aggravates me, because I have a example right before my eyes. That'll be a rant video, just a disclaimer. The thing that aggravates me are what I call, quote-unquote, formal faithful. People who observe all the rituals, who go to, we'll go with Christian believers because that's the most obvious group closest to me. These people go to church, they know who their local priest is, they observe all the holidays. When it's time to refrain from eating something, they do not eat. And they, I think, take great pride in that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but let's go with an example. There's a sort of a distant relative of my wife who is, by coincidence and a twist of fate, sharing the land where they live outside of Moscow. The place when I filmed 2 previous videos. I hope I will upload the previous one with the cat. He's on the surface he's a good guy, nothing wrong with him. But the more I shared his company, the more I noticed that there's no company, in fact. He does not participate. He's distant. He keeps his distance. And there's nothing wrong with that as well, because, I like to be left alone as much as the next guy, really. But he's, he treats Christianity seriously. Church, holy symbols all around his house. He goes on pilgrimages, believe it or not, to Greece, to the holy mountains, to see the, historical monasteries, etc., etc., etc. And at the same time, he doesn't have a family. He's divorced. He lives alone. He has a son. Who's sort of in a tight spot in his life, as far as I can get. He was in the army, the obligatory. I think that is 1 year, 2 year, I don't remember, sorry. I should have remembered that being Russian, you know. So he served his term in the army, and now he cannot find work, and he's about to get married. So that's a pretty tight spot. You know how many families usually cave in within the first, year or two because of the, material problems, people not really knowing what to do with each other and with their, newly acquired family life. And yet this guy, the faithful guy, doesn't show any support. I don't see, his son visiting him. I don't see him visiting his son. The young man is in a real need of, participation and support, if not, counseling. I thought, okay, give it a benefit of a doubt. Maybe I don't see the whole picture. Maybe their relationship is strained. Maybe. But this spring, by the way, last video, if I managed to upload it, did you see the cat? The sort of a cute cat that came around and I briefly showed it? Yeah? That cat. Like I said in the previous video, this cat is living a semi-wild life at this land plot. She's free to come and go. He doesn't allow her in the house. She's hunting, fending, finding food for herself. I think he's probably feeding her. But in winter, naturally, the cat cannot survive in the Russian winter. So because the cat is not let in the house, he keeps her in one of the buildings on the land. Basically turns on the electric heater and the cat stays there for the most part of the winter. This spring he tried to get rid of that cat. Tried to give it to someone, pass it on to someone. And I thought to myself, what the fuck is that? You are completely alone throughout winter. That cat is probably the only, other living thing in the whole neighborhood, and you are trying to get rid of it just because of the fucking electric heater? Does it really consume that much, cost you that much? And then I placed it all together and I understood that the guy simply wants to be left the fuck alone. He doesn't want any responsibility. He doesn't want to care for anybody. He just wants his prayers and his holy relics and his, trips to holy places, and that's it. Nothing more. That is Christianity for him. And I must say it goes in the family, because my wife's mother is close to that. She doesn't want anything. She doesn't want her daughter really to be at her house. She doesn't want the kids to be in her house. She's, irritated by them, and it shows. And she's also very religious, If that's Christianity, I'm goddamn Chinaman. As far as I can understand, Christianity is based on either finding your inner strength if you're completely on your own, or relying on people around you, on the community. It was and is a communal religion, communal faith. And even if you ditch Christianity altogether, a human is a communal primate. You are, if not here, then here down your spine, you are hardwired to be in the community. And the person actually, I think, feels good while doing something for the community. If we, strip all the, everything he has in his head, strip him to the basic instinct, a human is hardwired to operate within the community. And I think many of the so-called, true believers and faithful are just so lost in the ritual, in the formal side of things, that they forget this basic principle that you are. Basically, it's better to hold on to someone else in life, and it leaves a void inside a person. He doesn't feel that, either support from others, or maybe just some form of chemicals released by his primate brain that tells him you are doing the right thing. And it becomes sort of a vicious circle, you pouring much more into faith and getting nothing else if you're alone and you don't want to be, socialized. So there's a void, and you try to pour more religion into that, and you're basically an asshole. And I think every religion, every faith in the world is based on the simple principle. First of all, don't be an asshole. Everything else comes second. That's why I hate being at my wife's place. Because, for one thing, that's good to be outside, out of the city, chopping wood, carrying water, doing, something, putting, supports between the branches of an apple tree. But on the other hand, I see these people that are, so unhappy, really, and yet they try to sort of force happiness into themselves by way of alienating people around them. It's just mind-blowing to me. Because my family is, at least my mother, my grandmother, my grandfather, we are very close-knit. We shared a, 2-room apartment for several years. 4 of us and a dog. So we are very, close. And we live, a couple of minutes walk from each other. So seeing that is just makes me think about my wife having a really, really crappy life and childhood, and it's so depressing and infuriating at the same time. So here are my thoughts on formal Christians. I hate that, A person who doesn't want anything but to sit on his sofa watching, television And it's not cable, it's not, dumb talk shows, it's just state channels that are, pummeling your head full of, filth. So, and if we think beyond, family, these people don't vote, these people don't participate into anything. They just want to cleanse their soul. Cleanse their soul. My ass! Here's another depressing video from Russia. Next one will be better. I'm going in, waves. Depression. Something interesting. Depression. Anyways. Thought I'd share with you people. Please have a great Cob Tuesday. Spend it with someone you love. Or with your friends. Do something positive. That pipe is done. Thank you very much for dropping by. If you're still, watching me whine, and myself, I will be back soon with another video. Until then, see you people. Goodbye.